Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 350th session. We want to talk about the art of AI network scaling. My name is Michael Lee from Edgecore Technologies. We are not going to talk about the GPU today. We are not going to talk about the CPU today, but we want to talk about the AI networking. How do we support more than 100K GPUs in the network? If you look at this chart here, many people, when the AI machine learning age comes, they want to get hold of the latest GPU and the CPU, but they may not be able to get them. One of the reasons could be because the current data center architecture was pre-allocated for the power allocation. So their existing rack cannot take the new GPU. Or the old data center, they were not designed to take on more power. So there's a fixed power allocation. But there are many, many racks that have the existing computing power. Those computing power are distributed across different geographies. So how do we connect all of them together? So it requires very large network. Typically, we need spine leaf network. But if you want to connect all of them together, that increases the latency and also the network connections. And as we increase the higher tier to support more racks, we also need to know how many percent of the traffic will go to the second or third tier, and how many percent of the traffic just goes to the first tier. All right. So this is a very difficult task. But they need to enable AI and ML capabilities right now. So the focus on how to connect the networking together with existing spine leaf networks. There's another scenario. For those who are new to AI ML, they can afford to build a brand new data center. With the new data center, they can have more power allocation to each rack. So with more rack, with higher power, they don't need to have much layer of interconnect to connect them together. So everything can be close together. That improves the latency. But in order to do that, the new challenges are, how do we get the power allocated? How do we cool down those high power racks? That's what a lot of interests are in the liquid cooling, how to cool down all the new racks. Okay. No matter which way we go, we need to have a solution. So Edgecore is a networking company. So we are working on a solution, no matter what type of customer need. Either you have a new high power rack, we can have the liquid cooling solution and a power solution with the last tier of networking. Or we have low power racks, and we need large connection. Edgecore has all of them. If you imagine a lot of people that want to cut down the power on the GPU and CPUs, but there are not much attention to cut down the power on the networking side. So if you do this, today, we are using spine leaf on top to connect all different server racks together. Connected to a top of rack together. Each top of rack can consume more than 3,000 watts of power. And if you have lots of network connections with lots of top of rack, that power can add up. That would become a challenge. How to connect them, which require transceivers with high bandwidth, high capacity. Those are very expensive. Okay. Can we do something like this? Okay. If we can do it, that would save a lot of power and the fiber interconnect. Edgecore is investing a lot in the optics technology. We think we can do this in 2 or 3 years. What it does, it is possible to reduce the span and leaf network, or even eliminate the span or leaf network, to make it all photonics network. If we can do this, we are talking about a power saving from maybe a 3,000 watt per spine or leaf switch into less than 100 watt of photonic switches. This can make the dream come true. This would be a huge saving on the switches and the transceivers to connect all the switches together. Okay. For those who are still interested in liquid cooling when they deal with high power rack, Edgecore also have a solution on liquid cooling. Okay. Edgecore has 3 different types of liquid cooling available. Okay. One is for traditional liquid cooling. That means for all the brownfield, okay, we can upgrade the traditional air cooling to a liquid cooling. If we have a green field, that we have emerging liquid cooling. We also have open loop liquid cooling if you want to do a hybrid for transition. Okay. Based on a different customer requirement and the situation, we're going to propose what is the best liquid solution for the customer. Okay. For each type of liquid cooling, there are different kind of power savings we can expect. Right? Please come to our booth to look at our liquid cooling solution. We have 2 racks in there. The professional staff will be there to help you understand what kind of liquid cooling you may need to solve your problem. We also have rack management software, okay, to enable a total solution to get the AI servers, switches together, and in the future will be a photonic switch. This would be very critical. Today, the photonic switch are based on the mirror called OCS, but Edgecore has invested a lot in the future. We are able to figure out how to, for this optical circuit switch, to work with top of rack switches together, combined into one switch. And that can solve many of the problems. At the high level, the concept is, today we are looking at the port switching. If a switch has 32 port or 64 port, then you need to have a 64 or 32 connections. But if you imagine that we can combine 16 or 32 port into one port by having different wavelengths, that we can immediately consolidate all 16 or 32 port into one port. That's the basic concept. In order to do that, we need to have a very good rack management software to have some visibility on where the connection, the status of the connection is. Please come to our booth, A4, the Edgecore booth A4, to look at our list. Okay. Okay. As we move on to AI and ML, the networking starting with 800 gig, even 1.6T per port, everything becomes critical. This picture is going to show you, this is an aircraft carrier. Okay. As you can see, people walk through the deck. If any foreign object debris on the deck, it can cause a disaster. I use this one as an analogy. If you want to design a very good AI and ML solution, not only you need to pay attention to the CPU and GPU, we also need to include the networking into account to design a very nice solution, the best scalability, the best power saving, high performance, high reliability. So every little thing counts. So on the networking side, Edgecore is the expert. Edgecore has been in networking industry for more than 3 decades. We know a lot about networking. Okay. So what's the takeaway of today's presentation? Right. The end of AI age is determined by the power, cost, and scalability. Today, using Tomahawk 5 or Jericho Ramon 3, you can scale the CPU, the GPU to 16,000 or 32,000. Once you go beyond that, we're going to face a power and cost challenge. The optical network solution provide a leapfrog to the current technology, be able to scale up to 100K easily, while the power consumption will be reduced by combining all the ports into different wavelengths. Okay. So Edgecore and Ecton offer many, many innovative solutions as alternative to today's networking solution for the AI ML. Okay. We think we can support more than 100K GPU nodes easily with our technology. Okay. And optical solution play a very key role, okay, in the future. So we are investing heavily on optics. Okay. Customer can leverage Ecton or Edgecore investment to bring the innovative product for you to solve your problem. Okay. Please visit Ecton Edgecore booth A4, arrange a live demo with the staff. Ecton offers today's solution is a VOQ solution and a traditional endpoint fabric Ethernet solution. We have 800 gig product in the market today. We are looking into 1.6T. But in parallel, we are trying to leverage existing 800 gig and 1.6T switches, be able to combine with the optical network switch. The optical network switch is protocol agnostic. It will be compatible by its nature to any protocols, including Ethernet, InfiniBand. So there's no compatibility issue. The product availability information, you can visit our website. If you need additional information, I'm available here after the presentation, or you can come to the Ecton booth to arrange a demo to talk to the professional staff. Okay. Well, that's all for my presentation today. Thank you.